I would say there's like 20% that are very innovative. Those are mainly more Anglo-Saxon driven than the German ones. I think on the German side, there's still a bit more upside to go.
On the topic on digitization that companies are lagging behind, because probably asset managers are seen maybe as not the most innovative companies in the industry.
I would say there are a few that are very innovative that have been moving their way to platforms, so really straight through processing platforms. Nevertheless, there have been, I would say there's like 20% that are very innovative. Those are mainly more Anglo-Saxon driven than the German ones. I think on the German side, there's still a bit more upside to go. But maybe you want to...
Developing from fax to email is the big step.
Exactly. I mean, that was COVID did to us, so now we don't need to print anymore.
I do agree, actually, coming from a Swiss perspective here, as we have had a couple of weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, a event, the future of digital assets. And the participation ratio was quite high. It was the best participated event we had in the year in Switzerland. We have 590 companies dealing, trading, or storage cryptocurrency. But it's not about crypto. It's more. It's blockchain. It's a technology. It's tokenization. This is where you feel the younger generation is more onto that topic. So we need to not only have good digital data in place, I totally agree with you, but we have to move to a situation where we can, participate on bond issuances like the EIB has done and will do in the next years or so. So participate on tokenization and to let clients, private and retail clients, participate on this trend.
I think, yes, of course, we have to deal with that. But MEAG, 5 years back, we already settled first trades over the blockchain as a test trade with some partners in Germany. So we did recently also a tokenization project on that. So I think, yes, we're dealing with that. Maybe we're just taking a little bit more of a conservative approach, saying, okay, we want to get it right internally in our test cases before we are rolling it out. And Anglo-Saxon companies, having worked for an Anglo-Saxon company for 13 years, I know is like, okay, we're just, throwing it out to the market and we're getting it done. And maybe that's a bit of a cultural difference here. I wouldn't necessarily say that we're way back, so the gap is not too large, I think.
Isn't the pressure getting from fintechs like Robinhood and so on is getting more and more intense, because it's just so easy to just like in 10 minutes you've got the account, you can trade directly. Is this kind of a real issue for asset managers?
I'm not so sure on the wealth management that it's a real danger for two reasons. First of all, if you remember 5 years ago, we were bombarded by robo-advisors that will totally change the way you address the client. And actually,
out of the asset management.
Actually, it's not at all something that has changed dramatically the way to address clients. Yes, people were happy to have, but it has not dramatically changed. Absolutely not, at far less than we were expecting.
I'd say we have to differentiate between typical institutional investors on the one side. I mean, if you read certain statistics, you may think that, oh wow, institutionals are engaging in crypto and crypto assets and digitalization and tokenization, all of that. In fact, they do not. I mean, especially the real institutional investors. Yeah. I think the wealth managers do engage a little bit more. I think when you're digging down into the statistics, you will see that wealth managers are definitely engaging more. But coming back to your point, Tim, you made is, does it provide access to a younger generation into getting more in touch with asset management and how to manage my money? Sure, it does. And I think it's very important that we're dealing with these things, especially in Germany, because, we are all knowing, living in the industry for years, that we have a problem with, with our pension scheme going forward. So we need to bring the younger generation into that. It doesn't have to do with the high net worth individuals. I think they look after service, and maybe it comes on 4 or 5 point in terms of technology and accessibility via iPhone. But I think for all the others who are just dealing with savings plan around 50, 100 euro per month, it's very important that we bring them in touch. And how do you bring them in touch? Via iPhone. So I think here it's getting more and more important for those companies. I think that's a key aspect to differentiate.
Is there any, maybe from the US side, a recipe how to get closer to the younger generation? Like, how do you actually get them to come to PGIM?
So I don't know that we have a recipe, but we certainly are trying it. I mean, you have to remember that everything we do in the high net worth space is through financial intermediaries. So it's private banks, broker-dealers, and the like. So there's always an advisor that we are working with and partnering with to try to go after those to those particular clients. And it's their challenge as much as ours to get to that next generation. But I'd make a couple of comments. One is, as far as the Robos of the world and Robin Hoods of the world, I think that I've always looked at it as, where is a client on their financial life cycle? And when we're young, we can take lots of bets and we can take lots of chances and we can do things that we think are entertaining and fun. But at some point, a client, regardless of their age, is going to get a chunk of money, and I call it serious money. And serious money is not an amount, it's a way of thinking about it. And specifically, it's, does the pain of losing a dollar outweigh the gain of gaining a dollar, or the joy of gaining a dollar? And when you get to that point, and a lot of it's when it's inherited, or you sell your business, or you roll over your retirement account of some sort, you suddenly look at that chunk of money and say, I can't afford to lose this. I want to grow it, of course, but I can't afford to lose it. And when that time happens, I don't think those clients are going to Robinhood.